Hello, everyone. Now, imagine for a moment that you are alone in a quiet place, perhaps a small room away from the hustle and bustle of everyday life, when suddenly you feel a stirring deep within you, a calling that pulls your heart in a direction you can barely comprehend. This is how Daniel must have felt when he entered a season of intense prayer and fasting. In Daniel 10, we read about a moment when a faithful servant of God, burdened by the weight of his nation's past and uncertain future, encountered something extraordinary. An encounter that would change his perspective on the battle behind the scenes of human history. Now, Daniel had already experienced great visions before, but nothing had prepared him for what was about to unfold. He tells us that it happened in the third year of King Cyrus's reign, a time when the world seemed to be shifting in ways that only God could fully understand. For Daniel, it was not simply another day, it was the beginning of an encounter that revealed the invisible realities behind the struggles of men and nations. Here, in the quiet of his solitude, his soul was set on fire by a longing for the answers of truth. As Daniel prayed, he was deeply engaged in seeking understanding from the Lord about the destiny of his people. He had been fasting and mourning and pouring out his heart in a desperate attempt to grasp the unfolding events of the world around him. And then, amid this, his earnest prayer and his earnest plea, something remarkable happens. Daniel became aware of a presence, a being whose appearance was so awe inspiring that it left him almost overwhelmed. In his vision, he saw a man like figure that was radiant beyond description, clothed in linen and with a face that shone like lightning. The splendor of this figure was such that Daniel felt weak, almost as if he could no longer stand under his own weight. It wasn't just a pretty picture of heavenly glory, it was a powerful encounter that reminded Daniel that there is a spiritual realm working in tandem with our own. This celestial messenger, who we came to understand as an angel, had been delayed. His arrival was hindered by a spiritual battle that had raged unseen in the background. Now, Daniel learns that his prayer had been heard, but the forces of darkness had put up resistance, slowing down the angel's coming. Now, when the angel finally broke through, it was a divine demonstration of God's determination to bring light into darkness and to reveal his sovereign plan. As you listen to this story, imagine the intensity of the moment. Picture yourself in Daniel's place, feeling the tension between the weight of the invisible world and the visible world, and the invisible forces that shape things that are going on in the background. Perhaps there are times in your own life when you sense that there is more at work that you can see, a battle of hopes and fears, of doubts and dreams. Daniel's encounter in this chapter is a reminder that our struggles are not isolated or random. They are part of a larger spiritual narrative that God is in control of. You see, the angel's message to Daniel carries both comfort and a challenge. He explains that his delay was not due to neglect, but because of a fierce conflict in the heavenly realms, a battle between forces of light and darkness. This message is extremely profound because, well, you see, even when it seems that our prayers go unanswered, God is actively working behind the scenes, engaging in battles that we cannot see. His timing is perfect, and his holy power is unassailable. Although you may sometimes feel that your cry for help is met with silence, rest assured that the Lord is not indifferent. In his perfect wisdom, he is addressing issues far beyond our earthly comprehension. One of the most striking parts of Daniel 10 is the transformation that takes place in Daniel himself. As he stands before this magnificent figure, the intensity of the encounter leaves him physically and emotionally drained. It is a moment of vulnerability that strips away all pretense, leaving him trembling before this majestic figure of God's messenger. And in that lies a powerful lesson for you. You see, there is strength in humility. When you allow yourself to be honest before God, when you lay your burdens and fears openly at His feet, you open a door for His power and healing to enter your life. Imagine those moments when the weight of your circumstances feel unbearable. Perhaps you've struggled with loss, regret, or overwhelming adversity, or even habitual sin that seem to darken your every step. In those moments, Daniel's experience encourages you to keep seeking God, to persist in prayer, even when the answers may seem delayed. For it's in the waiting, in the midst of life's trials, that God's presence often becomes more apparent, and where He meets you. In His Word, He reaffirms that nothing is hidden from His sight. As Hebrews 4 verse 13 says, nothing in all creation is hidden from God's sight. Everything is uncovered and laid bare before the eyes of Him to whom we must give account. In Daniel 10, the angel's words also point to a larger picture of God's redemptive plan, a plan that spans not only Daniel's lifetime, but the entirety of human history. The vision hints of a future events, a cosmic battle, if you will, and that will eventually give way to the complete victory of God's kingdom. This perspective is meant to instill hope in your heart. No matter how daunting the present may seem or how deep the shadows of a struggle may be, there is a grand design at work. God is orchestrating history according to His perfect plan. And every moment of waiting, every trial you endure is part of that divine tapestry. Now, as you meditate on this chapter, let your heart be comforted by the reality that God is in control, even when you cannot see the full picture. The delayed arrival of the angel in Daniel's vision is a great reminder that sometimes the most significant breakthroughs come after periods of waiting and struggle. Now, Daniel 10 invites you to consider your own journey of faith. It asks you to look beyond the immediate challenges of this life and to trust that there is a battle being fought on your behalf in the heavenly realms. And that is, of course, if you are putting your faith in Jesus Christ. It also calls you to remain steadfast in prayer and your daily reading of the Bible so that you can cling to the hope that His plan is unfolding perfectly, even when you cannot see the outcome. This is also, of course, provided that you've committed your life to the will of Jesus Christ. Now, I hope that this teaching has encouraged you to approach God with the same sincerity and boldness that Daniel did. Please remember, there is no struggle so great that God's power cannot overcome it, and no moment of despair that cannot be transformed by God's grace. So, until next time, as you continue to walk along your journey of faith, remember that every prayer you pray is heard by the one who reigns over all. So trust in His timing and lean on His strength, and know that His presence is with you in every single battle, in every trial, and in every triumph. May the Holy Spirit guide you and comfort you and lead you into a deeper, more intimate relationship with Jesus Christ. May God bless you abundantly. And until next time, thanks for watching.